What's good, people? We're about to break down the trial by seven in episode 5 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
I am your man.
I need good men. Sir Raymond, my helm. Brother's mace most like.
This episode was crazy. We thought there was so much going on, but we want to break down, the people that died, what we saw, what was clear to us as well. So yeah, let's start off. First and foremost, we first had, of course, our guy, Baylor Breakspear. He starts off by really letting everyone know, stay on your mounts. We're trying to make this as safe as possible. Be very vigilant. These guys are savages. They wanna take you down. He also let them know that I'm Prince of Blood, and they can't harm me because they're sworn to me. So he had a plan. Let me try and make sure the King's guards, who are probably the most threat, they trained to kill. He was gonna be at least an issue for those guys to give Dunk a chance. Let Dunk have his one-on-one. I think that's what he really tried to make sure that Aaron could yield. It starts off already, Dunk already on his horse, and you see that they're giving you that perspectives of Dunk, which was good that they showed us this because we were watching through Dunk's lens, and we just see a massive crack going through Arian. He gave Dunk a good one. Dunk out here trying to get his stick out himself. This was crazy. This was insane to see. Arian he thought he had aura. The way Arian took out the lance after and brought out his ball, he thought he had aura. So already to the get-go, Dunk already faced. And we saw the first death. A lot of this death was really Sir Humphrey Harden. You're just seeing the King's Guard. Oh, that was brutal. That was the first death that we saw there. So that was something that, I didn't want people to miss out on. You can even tell it was him just by, of course, his shield came falling off. He went early, bro. Like, you know what it is to be whacked by the King's Guard so early. They go back where Dunk is out here thinking about what happened before in terms of his origin, how he met Sir Arlen the Pennytree. By the time he wakes up, you can imagine they've already trodden on him. And out of nowhere, bro, he just getting hit. You seen Aaron with his ball whacking him, giving him some beatings. What you also see is a few charges back and forth occurred by Maykar, like Prince Maykar was doing the most. Prince Maykar went forward, whacked him while he's getting whacked. And before he could do it again, Baylor Breakspear pushes and shoves, as it's shown here, Maykar. Some people probably could not tell who was who here, but Maykar's flying. I feel as though Baylor's realizing that, this is like a 2-on-1 right now. And there'd be nothing worse than seeing that being the case. So, of course, now we're a bit horrified. What's going to happen? Dunk kind of find his feet a little bit, though. He know that if he can make it a dirty fight, he's got a chance because he's got the strength. Aaron got the skill. So he's getting stabbed, though. He's getting chefed. But he gets to a point now where he's finding his feet a little bit. He holding his own a bit. He gets to a point where you see Dunk, he's kind of sort of taking off his helm now, helmet off. He's like, nah, forget this, bro. I can't see. Now Dunk is like, you know what, bro? Dunk had the will. He got his sword. He's going back and forth. And he's giving a bit of will. You can see that his endurance is something that Aaron don't have. Like, Dunk will fight for his life. And that's where you see he catches bro catches him. He catches Aaron in the privates. But don't worry, Aaron will have kids in the future. So luckily. But Dunk's like, yeah, I got you too. What's so interesting about that is you see Maykar comes forward and where he's trying to say, my son, bro, whacking. Bro, literally, like, he whacks his brother Baylor. And you also see where he goes and takes off Lionel Baratheon's off his mount. he actually stabs off his horse. So you see he crashing out. You can see that Maycar really was about that. That's why, he really was a force when it came to the Blackfire Rebellion with Baylor. And as he's going forward, then they're holding him. You're seeing Lionel and you're seeing Baylor. Baylor's already been hit already. Kamadi's already been hit, but they're holding Maycar. So that's what's going on through that particular scene. Now you see, of course, Dunk just tired, bro. He lays down unconscious. Aaron coming out saying that it's over. The fight's over. By the time he says that, Dunk wakes up. So Alan's like, get up, get up. Meanwhile, of course, Egg was always being like, get up. Egg sees that they're about to blow, and he's like, wait. This was a rocky scene. This was amazing. This is probably going to be one of the best scenes in Game of Thrones. So seeing that was just crazy. As he gets up, he gives Aaron the fight of his life. You see Aaron trying to exhaust Dunk first by Dunk throwing with the sword. Aaron trying to get him, but Aaron miss, and Dunk just makes this, a mud. It becomes a mud fire. You see Dunk doing what he does best, makes it fight dirty. What's interesting is, he really using Aaron's shield now, and he whacking him as we saw in the books, which would be the case. And Aaron taking some serious beatings, especially by Dunk's armor, man. He punching him with real punches. Aaron just getting scraped up. Aaron knows at this particular time he gonna die at one particular point if you don't say, if you don't stop. And I think that's the difference, Dunk is that kind of guy that he rather die. He's already he's in a lose-lose situation, so he would have to, even if he yield, even if Dunk yield, bro, he gotta die anyway. Whereas Aaron just needs to say I yield. So for Aaron, he know that if I yield now, they'll just put me some nice swaddling clothes. I'll still be Prince. I won't be the dragon as I say I am, but I'll still be Prince. So of course Aaron yields, and it's so interesting that I don't want people to miss in this. They didn't really show Breezebury as much, but Breezebury, one of the also the King's Guards, William Wild. Apparently he's out as well. He gets seriously injured, but we don't see too much of that. Maybe because of the budget, that was a crazy thing. But while now we see Doug, he looking out, he looking everywhere, he looking what's going on. He's like, yeah, I gotta end this quick. Because from what we see, we first see, of course, the Fossilways fight, and man, it was good to see, Raymond's out here giving, bro. Because I think Raymond got his payback. Raymond got himself, you thought he got his ass beat before, but you saw Raymond here when he was going against his older cousin. That was sick because Raymond came out. He took out his older cousin on the floor, so you can see he was holding his own. Also, so you don't miss out, Raymond had his new shield, which is going to be interesting. Instead of the red apple, he had the green apple. I don't know the time that they took to be able to get that done on time for him to go that way as a fossil way, but I was very significant that they showed that as well. The green apple as the fossil way, so Raymond was able to show that in compared to Stefan's red apple. And then also you see Maycast still giving Baylor hits, bro. I'm like, bro, you I know you're doing a 2v1, but bro really giving his bro real hits. That's why I don't blame people who say he did it on purpose. We saw witnesses, we saw the blows you were giving him, bro. That mace, the mace that Maycast was using, like he hit the way he hit is bro, and he was already losing his brain already bleeding. The way he hit Baylor again, and then he coming and trying to hit Lionel. But the crazy thing is that Baylor's using Valar's armor and helm. So for Baylor, this looked crazy because Baylor was even using his own stuff. So he was getting real damage. And now we had Dunk finally get Aaron to just say I yield. So all of that and that he withdrew accusations. So all of that was really what happened in the actual central battle. And then of course people were just waiting for how Baylor was going to be. And then, Dunk, he gets told that the Humphreys, they're out of it. Both lost at the first charge. They find out that, which was of course sad. The stab, luckily, it didn't kill him because that was always a scare from the beginning. And then unfortunately, we see Baylor, and Baylor's just lost a lot of blood, bro. He's lost a lot of blood, man. Baylor's lost a lot of blood, and that was a hard watch, and you could tell that he knew something wasn't right, man. And he just put everything packaged together so right, like such a good man. And he said this himself. The actor of Baylor said this by default. He just was never angry. He said, my bro's strong, man. And he kind of was like telling Sir Duncan, like, I need good men. But then he said the actual realm need good men, whether I'm here or not here. You can see that, sometimes you peacefully have to go. And that's something that we knew Bella was going to do. He could have complained and said, oh, nah, man, I don't want to die. But he just knew something wasn't right. And even the way he was so kind enough, the way he spoke to Raymond and said, if you be kind, just take off my helm, bro. He knew his time was going. He knew his time was going. And they took off his helm. And then he just seen himself and he's just like, bro, I'm going to drop dead. And then we actually see brain. We see his actual brain, bro. This is crazy. You know how crazy? And from Egg's face, I think Egg had the craziest look because Egg just like, what am I seeing as a kid? And then he just drops. And then the prophecy is fulfilled. You know, Daron told him the prophecy that, Daron told him that the dragon will fall on you and you'll be alive. We thought maybe it'd be Aryan, but it seems as though it ended up being Baylor. So some amazing, amazing, amazing scenes. I really wish the only thing we could have asked for, we know we didn't get 30 minutes. I could have given of 10 extra minutes just of the early battle. Maybe, so like Duncan was just on the floor too early for me. Too early. But yeah, we should hopefully get some, we'll see what happens for the next episode, but definitely just to make sure, guys, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Amazing, amazing show. Next week we're gonna definitely give you a breakdown. So stay tuned for that. Okay? Express your entity.